Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much for choosing the national broadcaster. We're coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue, both online and on air. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Now, to start off with activities as far as this Thursday is concerned, the 16th day of March 2023. The Equal Opportunities Commission has appealed to Parliament to reconsider the budget cuts for persons with disability and the social assistance grant for the elderly funds, citing that this will affect their standards of living. The Commission's chairperson, Safia Nalule Juko, made the call during an engagement with the Parliamentary Committee on Equal Opportunities.
They are represented.
A number of government agencies led their ministerial policy statements to the floor of Parliament and were received by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, who later referred them to the relevant committees. The Equal Opportunities Commission interfaced with the Parliamentary Committee on Equal Opportunities to diverse means on how best services of equity and gender responsiveness can be extended to Ugandans. During the dialogue, the chairperson Equal Opportunities Commission, Hajat Safia Nalule Juko, highlighted findings of the Commission as regards balanced development and the equitable distribution of resources.
Is provided for in the National Constitution. Equitable distribution of resources so that no person, no region misses out on the distribution of resources.
Nalule further said that the youth and persons with disability are left out in most government programs, which put their potentials to waste.
How I wish, whenever you are interacting with each of the sectors, you ask them, what are the specific measures you have put in this? There is equalization of opportunities for men, women, persons with disabilities, and other marginalized groups.
Legislators, however, cited the need for mindset change among the youth and more awareness about their equal rights.
That needs a lot of collective efforts. Looking at the poverty level in this country, looking at the level of inequalities in this country, we ought to be seen, not only talking, but in action.
The committee has also called upon Parliament to reconsider the budget deductions, especially for SAG, and that allocated to the people living with disabilities.
It was cut by almost 80% or more, from the so many billions to very few, 120 billions also to 24. It looks like the old people may not get the money they are destined to get, as the practice has been.
The chairperson Equal Opportunities Committee in Parliament, Judith Aliek, commended the works of the Commission and pledged more support towards ensuring gender and equity compliance for all.
We have a lot of information gaps. When we are moving around, for us who are now in adult suffrage and in districts, the cries of elderly people, young people, disability still stands.
Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
In more updates, members of Parliament want President Museveni to take action against officials involved in recent corruption scandals as he addresses the nation this afternoon. Some of the recent corruption scandals include the NSSF saga where billions of shillings were lost, the iron sheet scandal where over 20 ministers are named, and the goat outrage. Meanwhile, the opposition still maintains they will boycott the presidential address for failure by government release abducted NOP supporters.
My name is Itungo Nathan. I'm a member of Parliament for Kashara South in Imbara District. We are interacting with the President this afternoon. My expectation, the President should first address the scandals. In Parliament, every afternoon we are discussing scandals after scandal in our reports. A scandal in SSF, a scandal in the Prime Minister's office about these iron sheets. So want the President to come out and assure the public that he's in charge, because these ministers, they are giving a bad image to His Excellency and the entire executive. Number two, we started this session with COVID. We have not gotten enough time to interact with the President. We want the President now to remind the public about the pledges we made during our campaigns. We made a lot of pledges, roads, hospitals, schools, the poverty, because of the lockdown and COVID, so many businesses were disorganized, things are not okay. So we want the President to give us an update, the plan of how these issues are being handled. Of course, don't forget about what is in our schools now. We have a new curriculum. We are told instructional materials are not yet in schools, and yet students have gone to school, and at the end of the day they must do exams. So we want the President to give us an update of what is happening, because we have the mandate. We made a psychological contract with the community, with the voters, which you must fulfill.
This is something that is constitutional, and we expect so much more interaction between the legislature and the executive. In my opinion, there have been a number of crucial issues that are going on in the country. One is the escalating level of corruption. There have been a number of areas in which our country is grappled with incidents of corruption. We have the saga of the iron sheets of Karamoja. We have the saga regarding the goats, I don't know, sophisticated or whatever goats they are. We have issues to do with, also in the country now, you have issues where our people have been experiencing very difficult economic times. Basically, you find that the businesses are collapsing. Many of our importers as well as exporters are grappling with how to cope with the post-COVID era. So we'd like to hear from the President what are the key strategies that the government has in store to see how to restart our economy. The third issue that I would like to point out that we need to hear from the President as a country is the issue of how Uganda is positioning itself to address the escalating vice of homosexuality and lesbianism. Because it is apparent world over we are faced with an incursion where there is pressure for all nations to see whether or not some are going to stand up and protect the cultural values as well as the morals of their people. So we hope that as the father of the nation, he has a comment to tell Parliament on the direction to take with the anti-homosexuality bill that is before the House, among others. So indeed, there is a wide range of issues that we expect to hear from His Excellency, and I hope that these, among others, are some of the things he will address.
Maintain the stand, and we give reasons. Unless you want to tell me that overnight, all the people who were abducted were released. Unless you want to tell me that all political prisoners were freed overnight. Unless you want to tell me that Mr. Museveni has dealt with corruption overnight. Unless you want to tell me that all the reasons we advanced for our refusal to go to Kololo were addressed overnight. If the reasons still stand, we still maintain the status.
Some people were saying that now if you have an enemy and you cannot sit together, how do you reconcile and solve the issues at hand?
You see, the people who make such comments just want to make excuses. If you have an enemy, and if you actually call that person an enemy, so what do you want me to do? Mr. Museveni has a government. You do not tell me that the only person who addresses the issues of his country is Mr. Museveni, okay? You cannot tell me that Mr. Museveni does not watch TV, does not watch Parliament, does not know the issues that we are talking about. So I'm sure that he watches TV, he listens to radio, he reads papers, he follows what transpires in this country. And I'm sure that he knows there are many Ugandans who are abducted. I'm sure that he knows there are many political prisoners still incarcerated without even trial. I'm sure that he knows even within his cabinet, there are people who've been implicated in corruption scandals. So you want me to do that for him? I wouldn't, and they're still serving. So I don't want to do that work for him. In fact, much of the work is not with us. It is with him and his regime. It's with him and his agents. It's with him and his cabinet.
UBC Lunchtime News. National Agricultural Research Organization is seeking to strengthen a proper use of pesticides to avoid disaster that may befall humans and the ecosystem. NARO's senior entomologist Winnie Opio expresses concern over possible destruction of innocent insects that make the ecosystem healthy if pesticides are not well applied. This she said during the opening of the Training of Trainers workshop on the fall of the armyworm. The engagement being held in Soroti is part of the agroecological management of the fall armyworm in Eastern and Southern Africa.
You all know IITA, so ECP is an organization. It's a painful story when it comes to the use of pesticides, lots and lots of them. And so we really want to find ways of making sure that we move away from the use of pesticides that are not only dangerous to the people that use it, but even the environment in which these pesticides are being used. We don't know how many bees we've killed in the process. We don't know how many butterflies we have, whose population we've reduced. We don't know how many earthworms, so many insects, and the organisms that make our ecosystem a healthy place that we've killed in the process of managing fall armyworm and so many other pests. So this project is basically about promoting the use, testing and promoting the use of other ecologically friendly options.
Because this is where the smallholders are growing maize, and this is where they are suffering from fall armyworm. So as my colleague Winifred mentioned, our intervention is simple. It's not simple, but straightforward. We want to test for innovations that will help people increase their yield, reduce pesticide, and increase their income.
And that's why we are saying that can we get other technologies that will help us deal with the fall armyworm, but then are not dangerous to us as the users and are not dangerous to our environment. So basically we are trying to conduct mass sensitization during these trainings. We are not only telling them about the available technologies, but we are telling them that these technologies can actually help them move away from the use of the pesticides that pose danger to the environment and to themselves as users.
We believe that from here on, we are very well empowered, we are very well positioned to make sure that our farmers, our communities, don't despair once again when this pandemic hits us one. We will be ready. The techniques that have been passed on to us, we believe have been tested. They have worked elsewhere. And if they have, we also have the positive thinking and hope that they will work for us.
In other news, roadside market vendors have been advised to engage in productive and money-generating activities in order to stabilize their household incomes. The request was made by a team of State House officials who had delivered business booster packages from President Yoweri Museveni to roadside market vendors in Luwero district on Wednesday, 15th March 2023. Each of the 465 beneficiaries who operate from Balichewunya, Kasana, Bakuseka, Magenda, Kasana Wekembe, and Kasana Pida markets received a business booster, a package of 100,000 Uganda shillings. The vendors, who mainly comprise women, deal in agriculture, produce, beverages, muchomo, and chapati selling. The officials, led by Princess Pauline Nasolo and Miss Flora Kabibi, advised the vendors to utilize the capital from President Museveni well to grow their businesses. This, they said, will help them to sustain their families and fight poverty as far as President Museveni's wealth creation gospel is concerned. Princess Nasolo also requested vendors to actively involve their children in the businesses they do, in that they learn to be hardworking people while still young. She further cautioned the vendors against politicking, saying that the time for politics ended in the last general elections and that it was now time to work to ensure they can improve their livelihoods.
Tusaba n'olulala bannange obeewo obeererewo ddala kubanga tuli bubi n'abaana okulya okunywa buli kimu tutagala butagazi naye Mukama akuweera obulamu.
Pulezidenti Yoweri Kaguta Museveni okutuwa obuyambi n'atwongera mu kapito yaffe tweyanziza nnyo tweyanze.
Ngosanyuka bulungi.
Well, in more updates away from the lighter note, now to ensure good health for adolescent mothers living with HIV/AIDS, implementation of laws and policies is key if Uganda is to meet the 2030 target of ending HIV. High disparities remain between regions and HIV continues to affect adolescents, especially girls.
Uganda has achieved tremendous progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS, and epidemic control is almost within sight. However, African Youth Development Link has commended Ministry of Health for the support through free trainings, counseling and promoting health standards.
So as AYDL, we decided to target these adolescent mothers because they have a lot of challenges and vulnerabilities around them. And why we help them is that we want to support them. If we support these adolescent mothers to adhere to treatment, for example, if they are taking their ARVs in the right way, if they are eating a balanced diet, if they are living a life that is not full of stress, then that means that their viral load will be suppressed.
Doreen Nisima, team leader Health Plus Development Communications, pleaded with religious leaders, medical workers and the public against discriminating and abusing girls living with HIV from getting married.
So these girls come when they are meeky, when they can't say anything, when some are not even taking their drugs right, they are not totally adhering. But we go through a process, and it's a lengthy process. We use the Do Shops model, which is very practical. It's a model that trains you and sends you back to the community to like exercise what you've been trained. So we train them and then send them to the community to practice what they have been trained. So we always hold 5 Do Shops for the girls from the start that we identify them. So the first training is making them understand themselves, explaining what sexual reproductive health issues they are around them. And as we do these trainings, we just facilitate, like they do most of the work.
So if you get, even if it's only one person as a young girl, hold your hand and say you can do it, do not think you can't.
African Youth Development Link takes care of over 200 mothers living with HIV/AIDS in the districts of Bujiri and Busia.
In more news this Thursday, rural women in Albertong district have appealed to government and cultural institutions to rethink the unfair land laws and policies that bar women from access to and ownership of customary land. The women say the land injustice in their society is causing inequality and poverty among rural women and children.
Women and girls are celebrated across the world for their selfless contribution and support to the family. However, many of them suffer gross abuses, especially after losing their spouses. This is mainly because women are customarily unable to own land.
We still face challenges in the areas of land ownership. Because sometimes for you to access the loan, you need to put something that will stand as your security for you to get the loan.
A 2019 report by Oxfam revealed that most agricultural activities take place in rural areas, mostly by women who own only 7% of the land. While commemorating Women's Day in Aleptong district, different speakers advocated for equality in land ownership.
And it affects development so much.
If you want something said, you ask a man. But if you want something done, ask a woman. They are more practical. If you want something done, take it to the woman. They are very proactive.
The woman MP Aleptong district believes the move could encourage productivity of women who rely solely on farming and yet unable to control land nor the proceeds from it.
We know that a huge percentage of women are the ones who are participating in production in agriculture. And once they're able to own land, that will also be able to strengthen them and motivate them to do a lot more of cultivation and also have more decision-making power, especially on the products that they'll be able to get from the land.
She also supported rural groups with the seeds, capital, mama kits and sanitary pads for the school-going girls.
But as they keep on moving to the upper level, to P6 and P7, most of the girls have been dropping out due to challenges like teenage pregnancies. And today when we are talking about equal opportunities, we are working at addressing challenges around transitioning and also completion rates in education.
Earlier, women carried out a joint cleaning exercise within and outside a beer trading center to demonstrate the need for sanitation and environmental protection. Parliament appropriates 3 million shillings for every district yearly to organize Women's Day celebration. Eddie Olua, UBC News.
UBC Lunchtime News. Now, the sorrow state of some schools in rural areas of Mukono, inadequate study requirements for schools, and the poor learning environment in Mukono district, among other factors, has affected pupils' performance. This was disclosed by heads of some schools who were playing this for courtesy, who were giving a courtesy visit to Mukono Chisoga Town Council and had these findings.
A number of primary schools in Mukono and Tenjeru Chisoga Town Council are in unsuitable environment, which puts the learners' health at risk. A primary school situated in Mukono and Tenjeru has a population of 173 pupils, from nursery to primary 7, with only 10 teachers. Although it is blessed with pupils, the poor infrastructures has affected the pupils' performance, as Elia Martin Semogel explains.
We've been utilizing those buildings as they are with the support of the school management, but their funding is not that enough to put these buildings in a standard state.
The situation is not different at Maziba Church of Uganda Primary School and Bugoyo Primary School, where people study under trees with dilapidated washrooms.
The wind is very strong. It affects them. Those who are under the tree, they have to run and look for where there is a shelter, so that antagonizes their learning.
The teachers, government, not enough. Right now, I have only 5 teachers. Moreover, I have 7 classes. So that one is a challenge. Another challenge is the lunch for pupils.
It's for this reason that Rotary Club Kampala Maisha, through basic education and literacy, came to their rescue by equipping schools with facilities, among others resource centers and washrooms for girls.
this library has already opened.
Michael Kennedy Sebalu, the district governor, Rotary Club, urged beneficiaries to put the facilities to proper use.
We've created an enabling environment. We want better grades. We want you to keep in school. We want you to be the best versions of yourselves. Because through the projects that we implement, that creates our deliverable, that creates our output, our outcome, and our impact.
Rotary has also empowered women with life-changing skills to fight poverty in their homes.
We do it because we know that through education, we empower the future generations of this country. We are what we are because of education. So our purpose is that if through donating these books and learning centers, the children can adopt a reading habit.
This comes at a time when Rotary District 9213 is commemorating the Dear Day countrywide. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Well, we'll settle for a short break. When I return, we shall be talking business, and then we shall be finding out what the role of media is all about in accelerating the adoption of eco-friendly sources as far as energy is concerned. Do keep it here.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
Fish Farming Expo and Training. Ekajansi ku Aquaculture Research and Development Center kutandika Friday ngabiri munya paka Sunday ngabiri mukaga March ngome biri mwabiri mwesa sawa biri zokubacha bali lunaku kosirenya kubitano zokka no mutwalo kubone training jangu oyiko kuongera ku makungula ne sente zofuna mu byenyanja oyike babalusa endisa nekola emere ebyenyanja endwadde nezijanja bayabyo ero bikumotya ngabira mwate ngabya mutindo omwoleso kutide bakukuberere mu byenyanja bouncing kazo zabana ebisanyu santoko endoko kasiku okuva mu bayimbi ba Uganda benjawulo eno olaba oyiga ng'atonyumirwa obulamu Fishwise kuba essimu 0702 mukaga 2205 oba 0772 mukaga 26 okumanya ebisingawo tosubwa omwoleso gw'ebyenyanja okuwagiddwa naro nga kutegekeddwa Slick Stars.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app.
Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
Welcome back to this program once again. In more current affairs from the business world, the role of the media in accelerating the adoption of eco-friendly sources of energy and boosting energy efficiency cannot be misjudged, says Jacob Etuganana, an expert. While officiating a media training in Fort Portal City, Jacob urged the media to help in changing the public's mindset in order to break energy poverty in Uganda.
Although various stakeholders in the public and private sector have in the recent years joined hands in advocating for increased usage of clean energy, there is slow progress. One of the major catalysts of environmental degradation is the usage of charcoal and firewood as sources of energy for industrial and household usage.
The government introduced a cooking tariff to make the cost of cooking with electricity lower than that of charcoal in homes.
Members of the Fourth Estate from across the country are therefore urged to be agents of change by educating and informing the public on the importance of energy efficiency and showcasing new technologies with the goal of helping save money, save energy, and ultimately save the environment from further degradation.
And then you spend 150 in a city, 200 in a city. And you spend 200 in the city, and because you're the working class, oh, by the way, is the house help at home? Let her go and buy a couple of 20,000. Oh, let her, I love Kameza of 40,000. Beautiful. But because you're going to say, let me sit as a man 150. Suppose you simply say, let me divert the sitting of this day and buy for them a pressure cooker of 200,000. In less than 10 months, the money is recovered.
Breaking the energy poverty will put Uganda on a clear trajectory in addressing other forms of poverty. Solving the energy poverty puzzle calls for awareness, availability and affordability of the sources of energy and appropriateness of the technology, among others. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
The most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network. Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
UBC Lunchtime News continues with sports. FIFA President Infantino, together with Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, have unveiled a new football stadium named after Brazilian legend Pele in Kigali, Rwanda. Since Pele's death last year, FIFA member associations have been asked to name a stadium after a 3-day FIFA World Cup winner. The 73rd FIFA Congress delegation football tournament was also held at the stadium.
cameras, please. Guys.
Pele is football. Pele is the world. Pele left us much too early, but Pele is always with us. He is with all of us, all those who love football. And it is so important that every girl and every boy all over the world can remember who Pele was. So thank you for this great gesture to make this beautiful stadium after Pele. And congratulations again.
I think I still remember what it is. If my words allow me, I enjoy you and be part of this beautiful event. Thank you so much.
More local sports. The Union of European Football Association's President Alexander Safrin is in the country on a one-day official visit. While in the country, Alexander will check on the Linguma Foundation and the progress of Acholi Quarters projects geared towards promoting better livelihood for slum dwellers through football.
European Football Association has for long been sponsoring grassroots football development, and of recent they launched a campaign to fund third world countries. Linguma Foundation was among those selected, together with 12 other foundations from across the globe, to benefit from the grant. Now the UEFA President Alexander Safrin is in the country for a one-day visit at the foundation. The primary objective of his visit is to monitor the progress of the Acholi Quarters project and different works in promoting better livelihoods in the slum communities through sports, especially football.
It was amazing. It was an emotional experience for me. I think that we should come more time to see what real life looks like. And I'm grateful to Rita and to the foundation who brought us here. It's not a gift that I came, it's a gift that you received. So thank you very much.
The Linguma Foundation has been developing talent identification among children and stepped up further by developing the multi-purpose Acholi Quarters playground, improving the structures and status of the annual Banda Slam Soccer Tournament, buying a 15-acre piece of land in Chinuma village, Masindi district, and starting construction works at the Linguma Foundation Sports and Empowerment Center.
Like we all know, kids of today, once you develop a kid, then you've developed a future footballer, and that's now where our emphasis is all going to be placed. Thank you so much.
Safrin was equally excited with the progress and determined to ensure that the Uganda-based foundation continues to change lives of the less privileged.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this program. It's been a pleasure bringing you those particular current affairs happening for this hour. More news later on in timely news hours of the day. Thank you so much. A salute to the team behind the scene for making this newscast come your way. My name is Sandra Kahun. Enjoy your Thursday. God bless you.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundawa. What school fees I teach you? When I go to the music because of the Canada is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Eh? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your leg.